Hello everybody, it's your boy Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming, here today. We got number 6 for my top 10 games of all time, in celebration of 500 subscribers for the channel, and we're here today with number 6, Persona 4 Golden. This game may be a bit dated mechanically, we'll get to that, but the content that is there, both story-wise and gameplay-wise, stands the test of time and holds up as one of the best video games ever made. The story itself is gripping and edge-of-your-seat worthy. The game is a character-heavy story, containing one of the best casts of characters that I've ever seen. Everyone works. Everyone has their own story and is properly developed. The interactions between each character as well as the party members that we recruit are fun, emotional, and you can really tell that these characters truly do care for one another. The bonds that are formed in the game are rock solid, and the variety in personalities in this game makes each character feel unique and enjoyable. They each bring something unique to the plot, both in terms of dialogue, personality, and story. Now, Persona is known for its dual-genre approach. While it has those dungeon-crawling sections we will get to in the gameplay portion of the video, it also has a more visual novel style of social simulator aspects. And in these visual novel style social simulation parts, you decide how to spend each day by pursuing various relationships with certain characters and strengthening bonds with them. You take up part-time jobs that may unlock other social links to bond with, or level up social skills to unlock extra dialogue options or activities. And while the game itself is broken into various narrative arcs for each mainline dungeon that tends to focus on a specific character, you can pursue your relationships with various characters in the overworld and progress through their own individual storyline to learn more about the town, various characters, and their own story. It fleshes out the world while providing meaningful stories that can be done at your leisure. And one of the reasons I love the cast for Persona 4 so much, especially the main core group of playable characters, is because you will get a narrative arc for that character in the main story. You'll essentially get a nice little bit of conclusion for them, but then they'll become a social link that you can pursue their own story further in a more individualized, personal, meaningful way, where you can see the result of the character development that was done in the main story in these optional side quest lines that are unique and devoted to each of these characters. It is such a synergistic way of doing character development, because you not only see the development from A to B, but you see how getting to point B changed that character and their perceptions as they tackle other aspects of their life. And the main story itself revolves around this overarching supernatural murder mystery as the police race to find the killer while you evade the detection while pursuing the killer through your own means with the TV world and speaking to the victims. It's gripping, emotional, and knows exactly how to blend the comedy and lighthearted motifs of the story with the dark and gritty aspects that belong for a supernatural murder mystery. It's perfectly balanced like Thanos, and it's through that balance that this grand epic in storytelling is achieved and this truly special experience is produced. But honestly, the overall murder mystery was honestly secondary to me, because the interactions with the various characters were so strong and engaging that I started to care more about that than the overarching plot. That's not to say that the plot itself or the overarching narrative is bad or subpar in any way. It's amazing. But those mysteries and questions that are given to the player in the open hours, they drive the story forward and keep you wanting more. But that's just a testament to how good the characters and their own individual stories and relationships are. They are that engaging, that fun to hang out with. You don't want to stop playing because you want to keep finding out what happens next and interacting with this world and these characters. Now let's move into the gameplay. I've said this for a while, but Persona does exactly what I want out of a Pokemon-style game. If you know the collectathon Pokemon can become, a very similar principle applies here, as you capture, whether it be through combat or through fusing Personas together like Yu-Gi-Oh cards with polymerization. You collect these various personas and you add them to your repertoire that you can utilize in combat. You can acquire stronger and stronger personas with their own stat lines and range of abilities that are fully customizable. Well, not fully, but you can choose what moves your personas have. The customization within the persona system itself is one of the mechanics I find the most engaging with Persona as a whole, as you feel massively rewarded when you can finally create that one persona that you've been gunning for so long, but had to make or acquire all the components to craft it. And you feel further rewarded in the combat when you get to utilize these personas in engaging turn-based JRPG combat, utilizing an elemental strengths and weaknesses system akin to Pokemon. Each persona and shadow that you face off against can have a wide range of effectiveness for various elements. Some might repel fire but be weak to ice, or repel ice but be weak to physical attacks, or any combination that you can imagine. This system, while being simple in concept, opens the game up to a bunch of wide and varied encounters as you are balancing your own party's weaknesses with their strengths to cover each other while having a wide range of attacks you can utilize for any given situation. The main player character has a unique ability that your other party members don't possess, the wild card. And what the wild card does is let you equip multiple personas to your main character. Hence all the customization and acquisition for personas that I mentioned previously. Your other party members only have the one, so you may want to swap party members for various bosses or dungeons depending on what you find useful, but you don't have to. There is a ton of player agency here, as the player character can cover a lot of ground by themselves compared to the other party members, so you never feel like you are forced to use any party composition. You can always swap as you keep them all leveled. As long as you keep them all leveled. One playthrough I used the first 3 party members I got all the way to the end. My next playthrough I mixed and matched while preferring the party members I skipped out on using the first time. Just that simple act changes each encounter and how you tackle the dungeon crawling and makes it feel new and unique, and also replayable, as you have different tools and elements for these situations and problems that you are tasked with solving. While also, these characters have various buffs and debuffs available to you, so you have a whole wide range of playstyles available to you, the player. Some characters might specialize in single-target physical attacks, while also having ice-based attacks, or another character might specialize in AoE physical attacks, while having electric-based attacks. Actually, I think I swapped who was single-target and who was AoE there. Or another character may have support-based buffs and debuffs while bringing wind attacks to the rotation. Or another character might have heavy magic-based damage using fire. Or another character might bring random instant death-based light and curse attacks to the party. There's so much variety in the gameplay that the only real critique I can level at the combat comes in the map design for the dungeons. See, the game elects for its dungeons to be constructed largely out of labyrinthine corridors intermixed with certain small rooms, and while the aesthetics change, they do end up feeling largely the same rather quickly, at least for me. It doesn't help that quite a few of the side quests you can choose to do for extra rewards can be pretty grindy as well, as you end up grinding mobs on a few floors of various dungeons, hoping for the right drops. This is really the only part of the game, outside of the graphics, that feels dated to me. And while it does grind on you after a bit, the strengths of the combat and boss fights, coupled with the music and characters and the overall story, makes it worth playing. That gameplay loop of Persona is very polarizing, and you may not like it, but if it clicks for you like it did for me, it will probably become one of your favorite games of all time. I haven't even mentioned the freaking music outside of that last little point. It's triple S tier, one of the undisputed GOAT soundtracks of all of video games. Every song works, and makes your eardrums just vibe to the beat and feel happy. A lot of the time as you explore those corridors of the dungeon, you'll just find yourself bopping along to the beat of the song. Like, no joke, some of these locations have no right to have these absolute bangers playing. Like in the room where you prepare to choose a dungeon to go into. Backside of the TV. It's so good and a personal favorite of mine. It's so catchy. And oh my god, one of the dungeon themes in this game. I won't spoil it, or even what the name of the song is. But if you know, you know. It is that iconic. The music all feels like Persona. They all feel like they belong in this game, but they provide the unique sound and emotion to each scene. They all bring something new and unique to the fold of the OST. And in conclusion, a common theme I'm coming to find in the games I put in my top 10 of all time is that they make excellent use of each component of what it takes to make a game to create a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts. Persona 4 Golden isn't amazing for any one thing. It's amazing because each component is amazing. But when all brought together, they flow and work off of each other to create one of the best video games I have ever had the pleasure of playing. Persona 4 Golden is worth all the hype that it gets because it's justified in my opinion. It is one of those truly special games that are out there, and I full-heartedly recommend you go out and pick it up. And with that, number 6 for my top 10 games of all time has come to a close. Next time, we'll cover number 5. And I promise, you'll never see it coming. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure making the video. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and your opinions on Persona 4 Golden. Have you played the game before? Have you been exposed to it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you not like it? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and hear your perspectives. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.